going on, everybody? Welcome to another video, and today we're shooting a traditional bow, Bareshaft tuning. If you've never done so, or if you've never shot a traditional bow, this is obviously by far the best method, or really the only method. Best method to tune your arrows to your traditional bow, and that's Bareshaft tuning. And you can do this with compounds. It's probably less common in compounds because there's more things you can do when you've got rest and blah, 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 and you can change things. But Bareshaft tuning is about the only way to get an arrow to fly perfectly straight, because each bow needs its own specific arrow with its own specific weight. So you need a Bareshaft tune. So anyway, I've kind of already Bareshaft tuned my bow. We did this yesterday and it took forever because it can be somewhat complicated. And I think I still need to add a little bit more weight to my tip, but it's close enough and I can show you kind of what you're looking at. I've got 3 arrows here. One I know is weak, one I know is too stout, or too stiff, excuse me, and one that's pretty close in the middle. It's good enough for me. Like I said, I think I need to get some more inserts, potentially add more weight to it, but it's good enough, and I can show you a comparison of the 3 and kind of the process of doing so. But anyway, basically the concept is I already shot some 400s and some 500s, and my dog's over barking at them. Lord knows what. Anyway, I've shot 500s, 600s, 500s, and 400s. The 400s flew good, actually really good, with 0 added weight. It just had the 12-ounce aluminum knock, or insert, excuse me. And it was perfect length, and all I had was the aluminum insert, but I want more weight on the end of my arrow because I'm not a huge believer, excuse me, of tons and tons of weight in compound bows because they're so fast. I don't think it's really needed. That's a huge conversation that people debate all the time. I'm not a huge believer in super heavy arrows. I shoot 450 grain probably arrows on my compound setup, and I blow through every deer I've ever shot, even hitting shoulders. So that's neither here nor there. But with traditionals, you're handicapped already because you're not shooting nowhere near as fast. So I think tip weight is super important for obvious reasons, and that's penetration. When you don't have the speed, you need to compensate. You're already shooting a slow arrow, so it is not going to hurt to put a little bit more weight on the tip of yours. Anyway, so I shot the 400s. They flew good with no added weight. So next step down was the 300s, or in this case, 340s. I'm shooting the Hunter XTs. 300 there is from my compound setup. I just got it because I know it's too stiff and the arrow's way shorter than the one I'm shooting out of my traditional bow. Go buy some arrows from Walmart. They're going to be 32 inches shafts, more than likely. I think there are 30-inch shafts, but generally 32-inch shafts is what they'll come in. You put your desired weight on the end of your arrow and shoot it, and more than likely you're going to be weak. So you trim your arrow down, and we did increments of a 1/4 inch, but you could probably tell if it's hard, weak, that you can probably cut off a little bit more. And obviously, if you do not know, cutting your arrow off shorter lengths will stiffen the spine. So if you're shooting hard weak, you keep trimming it down to it, sucker, it'll be flying knock left if it's weak, and until you start straightening it out. And when you get close and you're still slightly weak, you start trimming off in smaller increments and then micro adjust it from there. But that's what we did. It took a good while. You want everything to be perfect. Like I said, it's not super perfect, but it's a pretty good illustration of what you need to do. Like I said, I'm no expert, but anyway, I'm gonna shoot these arrows. I'm gonna shoot no particular order. I guess I'll shoot my decent flying one last, but I'll shoot one that's too stiff, which will be knock right. I'll shoot one that's too weak spined, and that'll be knock left. And then hopefully my good arrow will fly semi-straight. We'll go up there and look at them, and you'll be able to tell when they stick into the hay bale that they'll be oriented in different ways. So let's do that, and we'll look at it and we'll talk a little bit further. So, not that one. We'll shoot the 300. It is severely too stiff because this is my compound arrow and it's really short. And obviously when you shorten your arrow, it stiffens the spine. So anyway, I don't know if you'll be able to see how much you'll be able to see. We're about, I don't know, 8 yards or so from the target. So let me scoot up, kind of scoot over. You may be able to see it, you may not. Either way, but when we get up to the hay bale, you'll be able to see drastically on how they orient when they hit the hay bale. And also, forgot this, when you're Bareshaft tuning your bow, you have to hold your bow vertically on a traditional bow. Because when you can't, naturally when you shoot, you can't your bow left or right, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. And when you're holding it slanted over, a knock left arrow may be oriented in a knock high arrow, which knock high arrow, when you shoot it vertically, means your knock point's too high. That's neither here nor there. Just shoot with your bow straight up, and make sure you need to be consistent, the same draw point. Don't torque your bow, hold it free-handed, you know, as loose as you can, all that good stuff. But anyway, we'll shoot these 3 arrows and we'll look at them. Okay. My arrow is still shooting knock high, but we can fix that. Get that there. Let's go over and look at them. Let me flip this over and I will show you what we're dealing with here. All right, there's my 3 arrows. And I am walking straight at my middle arrow, which is straight on. Now, obviously, as you can tell, my middle arrow is straight. It is shooting knock high. We'll fix that. All I have to do is lower my knocking point just a hair. But anyway, as you can tell, excuse me, this arrow is obviously oriented hard left. This one right here is hard right, and this one is straight. It's just up. Up means your knock point is too high. But we'll drop that. I've been fighting that issue here lately. I've been fighting that issue yesterday. But there they are. And that's why you need to Bareshaft tune your arrows, because obviously you can throw feathers on most of these and they will fly somewhat good. But yes, you can put feathers on these arrows and that will correct them a lot. But when you have a Bareshaft arrow that flies good without feathers, and then you put feathers on them, they will fly so straight. And when all your momentum is just dead straight, dead center of the arrow, all your energy, you know, will go into, you know, whatever you're shooting, instead of, you know, it being canted up, down, left, right, and all that good stuff. Of course, if you shoot bows, you know this. But it's so much, I ain't gonna say so much more important. I think it is more important, more so, on a traditional bow, because you're not shooting as fast. You need everything to be dead straight, dead center, so you can dump all your energy into whatever animal you're shooting. So that's why Bareshaft tuning your traditional bow is so important. And like I said, every bow, every poundage, it's going to be something different. There's a general consensus of your poundage of your bow and all this good stuff, and length of your arrows of what you should shoot. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what you will end up with. Well, like I said, the process that we went to, we put the desired weight on the end of my arrow and then just chopped it down as it straightened out. And boom, there you go. It's not necessarily it is that simple, but it's not that easy, I guess you would say. But that's the process that we go through, which is generally the process. These dogs are making all kinds of the awfulest noises, chasing some kind of critter underneath that wood. I'm trying to make a video here. Thank you. But anyway, that's about it. Traditional bows takes a lot of practice, so it's gonna be a lot of shooting from here till hunting season. Well, we got, I don't know, a little over a month or 2 months, I guess. Either way. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit something. If you are interested in getting into the traditional world, on why it is so important to Bareshaft tune your arrows. You know, a lot of people just go to Walmart and get some arrows and just send them, and you can do okay doing that. But if you want the best shooting arrow that you can possibly shoot, you need the Bareshaft tune. So we'll probably make a few more videos as it gets closer and closer to the season of us shooting. We're probably going to try to go to some bow shoots if at all possible, if our schedules all line up and all that good stuff. But we're gonna start shooting every Monday afternoon. Probably try to live stream some of that or make videos out of it. I don't know which one yet, but that'll be it for today. I'll catch you on the next one. See y'all.